Hi, everybody. Jake Slebodnick joining you once again from First Commonwealth Bank Field in Homer City as we continue our coverage with Heritage Conference Spring Sports Media Day. And right now we're talking United Lions baseball. Pretty good season for them last year, and they look to build on it here in 2024. This interview brought to you by Robindale. To my left, going down the line, joined by head coach Doug McNulty in his sixth season. Then we got Evan Thomas and Isaac Worthington, and we'll talk to them in a little bit. But, Coach, I want to start with you. Last year, a pretty good season overall, 11-10, 8-5. Not quite where you want to be, but a good season to build on coming into this year.
Yeah, biggest thing when I took over United a few years back was just being competitive every single year, giving the kids a coaching staff and resources that they deserve. I have had a great group of kids in all my years at United. They work hard. Nothing's different this year. Very athletic group. We have 5 returning starters, 4 incoming freshmen that are all really athletic will help us. So with us, it'll be pitching. If we can find guys that throw strikes, we're going to be okay because our offense will keep us in games. But if we go down the road of walking opposing hitters, it could potentially be a long year for us. So we got to find pitching. We're doing that right now with our first week of practice. But I can't ask for a better group of kids athletically and then just with how they are and how they approach every single work day.
Who are some of those guys you're leaning towards putting on the bump this year?
Isaac Worthington, who also plays outfield for us. Connor Darr is a sophomore. Did pretty good for us last year. Ryan Felix is a freshman. James Cordish is a junior. Those are the 4 right now that we feel most comfortable with. But we have 12 guys that can throw. We've been working with 12 guys in our practices to throw off a mound. So if we need to, like we did against our loss to Bald Eagle, if we have a pitcher get through the order one time and we have to switch to somebody else, we will do that. We will leave no stone uncovered when it comes to strategies to get through a game. But those are the 4 guys I look for us to lean off of.
How important is it to put together some quality at-bats this year to elongate counts and maybe force opposing pitchers to really dive into their bag of tricks to try and get you guys out?
Yeah, I think that's always important, especially with the pitch counts because, there's some schools in our conference that have 2 or 3 guys, 2 or 3 dudes that could sling it. But for us, we know how we have been, even when we had Ben Tom and some very good pitchers. You get into our bullpen, that's where we get a little bit uneasy. So 8-10 pitch at bats, even if the result isn't on base or a hit, for us is a huge win because the sooner you get to those 8 or 10 pitch at bats, the quicker you get to their bullpen. And even as deep as Homer Center is or Commonwealth Township or Northern Cambria is with pitching, they have another game that week or they have maybe 2 games that week, and the last thing they want to do is dip into their pen if they can get through us with one guy. So it's important. Pitch counts are always important, and we try to work the counts, and our guys have done a really good job buying into that approach in my 6 years there.
Well, you talked about Homer City a little bit and some other schools. You bring in 2 this year to the Heritage Conference, and it made things even more competitive. You've been here for 6 years. What's it like seeing this conference grow and get more competitive each and every season?
It's great. I think the playing the teams on your side twice in the same week is great for 2 reasons. If you have a rainout on the first day, you can either schedule it in between or have a doubleheader. And then, there's schools in the conference that when they had one guy, they wanted for the better games him to pitch both those games. Now, weather, all things considered, if you have one guy, you're only going to see that pitcher one time. I think that's huge. The Whippeal has done it forever. I'm happy our conference changed over to it. The addition of Conemaugh Township, Portage, Conemaugh Valley has helped. Conemaugh Township and Coach Zambanini have been a powerhouse for years. Nothing changes this year. It's a more complete conference. Yes, we lose the ability to play Homer twice, which is a natural rival for us. River Valley, we're only playing once. But we picked up the other schools that we did. So I think it helps. Our conference has gotten better with competitiveness, and everyone we added, they all make geographical sense. So it's going to be a fun year. The first year realignment for us on the baseball side, and we don't get any favors with Northern and Conemaugh Township and Portage. I know Coach McCabe and Coach Zambanini are on the verge of hanging it up. But man, they're just those are 2 programs historically that are very good. It's a challenge, and we want a challenge. We don't want cupcakes. We don't want cakewalks. And our kids are up to it.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting season to see how you guys tackle these new opponents, and it'll be nice to see how far you guys make it. Hey, Coach, best of luck this season. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, John.
All right, and let's move on down the line here. We'll talk to Evan Thomas. He is a senior leader on this team. He's going to do a lot of catching this year. So, Evan, from your point of view, give me some of the names that we're going to see on the bump this year. And, you've caught some of them already. What's the outlook looking like?
We got Isaac, obviously, and then his little brother Dimitri can throw. Travis Timko, James Cordish. We got a bunch of guys that can throw, and a couple more after them that can also go in there and throw a couple more strikes. So it's looking. We have pretty good depth through our bullpen.
Coach also mentioned the competitive aspect coming into this season. You guys are a very competitive bunch of kids. You know, you guys finished 4th in the Heritage Conference last year. How are you guys looking to build on that in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, through the past sports, you can see we have a lot of kids that want to compete and want to better themselves and better for the team. There's a lot of team players through our roster, and we have but yeah, we got a lot of kids on our team that can play ball.
Are you excited to see these new opponents in the Heritage Conference this year with the two Conemaugh, and how is it going to make things a little bit more competitive for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we played them in football. We played Commonwealth Township last year in baseball, so it adds more people to see more variety throughout the seasons instead of just the same 8 teams every year.
Hey, Evan, thanks for the time. Best of luck this season.
Yep, thank you.
Evan Thomas will talk to Isaac Worthington here. Isaac, again, one of those multi-sport athletes. You go from one season right to the next. So how have you been preparing for baseball season in this short time since basketball?
I've been throwing every day and trying to get soft toss and hit off the tee.
You're one of the senior leaders as well. You've watched this team sort of develop over the past couple of seasons, and to finish 4th last year, I think it sets up some pretty big things here in 2024. From your point of view, how has this program really changed over the past 4 years?
I think it's changed a lot for the better. We've been a lot more competitive. The team's been close. Like, everyone's friends. It's just all around better.
Take me through the competitive edge, because again, Coach McNulty and Evan and I were somewhat talking about this, but you guys bring a lot of competitive attitudes here in United, and I think that's really helped you guys in the past.
I think it has too, because before, everybody would play, but now everyone on the team can play, so you have to bring your best to practice every day or you're just not going to see the field.
What are some of the strong suits for this team coming into this year?
The athleticism and I'd say our mindsets.
All right. Hey, Isaac, best of luck this season, and thanks for the time.
Yep, thank you.
It's Isaac Worthington of the United Lions, along with Evan Thomas and Coach Doug McNulty in his 6th season. Can't wait to see what the United Lions do on the baseball diamond this year. This interview with the Lions brought to you by Robin Dale, and we'll check in from First Commonwealth Bank Field in Homer City a little bit later on Renda Digital TV.